the arcing wires that posed a real danger in Cherry Hill, or the tree that crushed a car on Rittenhouse Avenue in Germantown, or the Rite Aid roof that collapsed in Claymont, Delaware. It has been a very long day, and even now the plow trains are still clearing the roads. But the end is near. It is Wednesday night, and the big story on Action News tonight is the tail end of our historic storm. This is now the snowiest winter in Philadelphia since they began keeping records in 1884. And to celebrate the occasion, the Philadelphia public and parochial schools have decided to give the kids another day off tomorrow. In fact, almost 900 school districts have canceled classes again tomorrow, and the list will be seen on the bottom of your screen until the last school is mentioned. Meanwhile, the storm plunged more than 100,000 people, or I should say homes, into the dark tonight from the fringes of the Lehigh Valley to the tip of South Jersey. PECO reports 13,000 people without electricity in Philadelphia alone. Overall, 120,000 of its customers remain without power tonight, the hardest hit area, Bucks County. Atlantic City Electric has 33,302 out, the worst in Cape May County. PSE&G has 11,000 outages at this hour. Delmarva has 13,773. PP&L with 702 customers in the dark. Still closed tonight, the Schuylkill Expressway, the Blue Route, the Roosevelt Boulevard Extension, and the Vine Street Expressway. PennDOT told us within the hour that they don't know when those roads will reopen because that news will come from the governor's office, and there has been no word yet. And as far as the airport is concerned, we expect to hear from officials in the morning. But there is a very good chance the airlines won't be able to operate until later in the day tomorrow. Massive runway cleanup operations are already underway. We have breaking news about what is believed to be the first death caused by the storm. One person was killed when a roof collapsed on a building tonight in Morton Street in Riverside, Burlington County. No details about the victim have been released yet. We do have an Action News crew en route to the scene. We'll have more information when it becomes available. Here is our roster of snowmen and snowwomen tonight. Dan Cuellar is in Marple Township. Brian Taff is in Center City, Philadelphia. Catherine Scott will report live from Trenton. David Henry is in Radnor. Chad Pradelli is in Atlantic City tonight. And Lauren Wilson will be reporting from Wilmington. Thank you, Lauren. But first, let's get the very latest information on the storm from AccuWeather and meteorologists Cecily Tynan and Adam Joseph. Cecily?
Well, Jim, the storm did put us over the top. The snowiest winter on record. The old record, 65.5 inches, set back in 95-96. We just crushed that. The new record, 70.3 inches and counting. At the airport as of 7 o'clock, so these totals will be climbing. The airport reporting 14 inches, but northeast Philadelphia, 17.4 inches of snow. Collegeville really getting buried, 20 inches. Wynwood, 17, and Ridley Park reporting 19 inches of snow. East Nantmeal, Chester County, look at this, 26 inches. Chester County really getting the bullseye. King of Prussia, 17. Percy, 21. Boyertown, 23.3. Allentown, really getting thumped with snow, 17.6. And in Wilmington, 12.8. Vineland, 11.3. Cherry Hill, 17 inches. Ewing, 17.6. And Sewell, New Jersey, reporting 15 inches. But we still have some snow that's hanging on in Philadelphia. For more on that, let's head to the big board with meteorologist Adam Joseph. Adam?
And Cecily, there's always one troublemaker in the group.
That's true.
And tonight, it is over the Center City vicinity on Storm Tracker 6 live. Most of the snowfall has pretty much wiped away. It's evaporated. It's pushing off the coast. You see just hugging Surf City to Belmar. That is moving away. But we have this very interesting area between Wilmington, Philadelphia, and Trenton that just won't let go. It's like a big bear hug, and that person just won't open up their arms and just give up. Let's zoom in, if we can, towards Philadelphia, because there you will see still some bright whites on Storm Tracker 6 live in Philadelphia, the Frankfurt section, Manayunk, Jenkintown, and it's just sitting here, so we have to wait for the atmosphere to really exhaust itself, and that should hopefully be within the next hour. Peak wind gusts with this particular storm, 46 miles an hour in the state of Delaware, 41 miles an hour in Atlantic City, Allentown to 33-mile-an-hour wind gusts, and in Philadelphia, a peak wind gust of 37 miles an hour. The storm recap over the last 24 hours. These are the major bullet points. We had areas of thunder snow today. Many of you reported on 6abc.com. You were chatting with us while we were on the air. Snow rates as much as 3 inches per hour. Visibilities less than a quarter of a mile for many hours on end, and numerous hundreds of thousands of power outages because of the weight of the snow and the strength of the winds. But Cecily, again, a lot of it is winding down. We can rest, you can rest, and eventually the atmosphere will rest.
That's right. But even after the snow ends, we will have some problems overnight because the winds will blow out of the northwest 15 to 30 miles per hour. So this will cause extensive drifting. Temperatures dropping down into the low 20s. So people without power, it's going to get very cold in your house. Also, any slush left on the roads will be freezing solid. Be very careful tomorrow morning. Wind chills dropping into the single digits. We'll have more on this storm. Also take a look towards next week at the possibility of more snow in the AccuWeather 7-day forecast. Jim?
All right, Cecily, thank you. Let's go live to Action News reporter Dan Cuellar, who's in Marple Township, Delaware County tonight. Dan, the storm prompted the governor to call out the National Guard tonight. What's the story with that?
Well, Jim, the situation is, even with all of the work that PennDOT crews have been doing around the clock, large portions of the roadway remain very treacherous. State police cruisers can't even get around in it, but military Humvees can. And the last thing they want is a large chain reaction accident where a lot of people are trapped and unable to get out for many hours, like we saw last year on Route 80 in Fredericksburg. Governor Ed Rendell vowed that would never happen again on his watch, and that's what this is all about. Humvees ruled the road on the 20-mile stretch of the Blue Route tonight.
Oh, you're immediate, follow right.
Members of the 1st Battalion of the 111th Infantry Regiment of the Pennsylvania National Guard assisted state police in enforcing the governor's order.
We don't want to have the Blue Route shut down for 1 minute longer than it absolutely it has to be. But at this point, the road is still very, very dangerous.
The governor ordered the Blue Route, the Schuylkill, the Vine Street, and the Roosevelt Extension shut down to all but emergency personnel for the duration of the storm. Only a few months ago, this unit of the National Guard was assigned to the battlefields of Iraq. 2 of their members lost their lives there. Now, the unit is here trying to keep motorists safe.
Crown Vic in 2 feet of snow doesn't work. So what we do is we come out and we give emergency personnel the extra mobility necessary to get out and do their job. We might find somebody who got themselves stuck. Probably a couple of people who weren't supposed to be on the road.
And there were others doing yeoman's work tonight. Road crews in many communities who have been working long hours to keep major roadways open.
What's going?
We started about 7 o'clock last night.
Is this storm letting up at all, helping you guys out at all?
No.
You guys are just constantly going at it, huh?
Just go layer after layer.
And the game plan is to go until?
Got to get till it's done.
Till it's done.
Meanwhile, PECO was reporting many power outages tonight, and this is part of the reason why. Trees were getting so heavy with snow, huge branches were falling, bringing down power lines with them. On a lighter note, for many others with no school and no work to go to, it was a day to have a little fun.
How's the skiing out there?
It's wonderful. It's great to not have to drive anywhere. You just put the skis on and come down the street or the sidewalk or whatever else is ready.
Okay, back to the main story. I know everybody is wondering, when will the major roadways ordered shut down be reopened? And the answer is not till further notice. It is no decision has been made. That's yet to be determined by Governor Ed Rendell himself. We're live near the Blue Route in Marple Township. Dan Cuellar, Channel 6 Action News.
Thank you, Dan. From Marple Township to Center City, Philadelphia, Action News reporter Brian Taff is there, where Mayor Michael Nutter wants to keep things quiet again come tomorrow. Brian?
He does, Jim. It is bitterly cold, but it is absolutely beautiful out here tonight. This latest blast of winter covering Center City in a fresh, albeit thick, coat of snow. How thick, you ask? Let's take a look. Measuring on this wall at Independence Mall right now, we are measuring a staggering 16 inches, and the snow is still falling, so we are still counting. But as picturesque as all of this is, it is also extremely problematic. And we found many people tonight who are taking all this snow in stride. From Roxborough to Manayunk to Center City and beyond, deserted streets told the story of this storm. Only a few dared drive. Others saw fit to stay on foot, including this Roxborough family who braved the blizzard to bring home their daughter.
So we took a 2-mile round trip to go and pick her up, because that's what parents do.
2 miles in the snow?
Yeah.
Uphill both ways?
Yeah, pretty much.
In Manayunk, meanwhile, crews tried to keep up with the falling flakes. But they came far too fast. As the narrow, winding streets filled with snow, bars here filled with people. Business, like the air, was brisk. But despite scenes like this, snow surfing, all was not fun and games. Far from it. This South Philadelphia auto repair shop collapsed under the weight of all that white stuff. One of at least 10 partial collapses citywide. Mayor Nutter said the storm was so serious, its effects would be felt for another day.
Tomorrow will be the same as today. City offices are closed to the public. We will only have our snow fighting personnel and public safety personnel in for the services that they will be providing.
And like other city services, school is closed tomorrow too. Music to the ears of so many creative kids.
Oh, I can build lots of snow structure things in the backyard.
Snow structures, not just snowmen.
Yeah, snow structures.
Like what?
Like igloos.
And who needs snowmen when Dad's around?
After a few miles in the snow, I'm starting to look like a snowman. I feel like a snowman too.
We're all feeling a bit like a snowman these days. Worth expounding a bit upon what Mayor Nutter said. What are city offices closed? Well, they are health centers, rec centers, and libraries, all of them closed to the public tomorrow. If you are a city worker, as mentioned, you're not expected to report unless you're directly involved with snow removal or ensuring public safety. Live on Independence Mall, Brian Taff, Channel 6 Action News. Jim?
Thank you, Brian. Let's go live to Action News reporter Catherine Scott in Trenton. Catherine, Central New Jersey just clobbered by this storm. What's the situation where you are?
Well, Jim, it's still snowing here. No rest for the weary in this town tonight. We did a tour of Trenton earlier in our news van. We ran into a lot of people with car trouble, people who were shoveling and then shoveling again, trying to dig themselves out from this absolute mess of a snowstorm.
This is what winters used to be like when I was a kid. It's not like the winters that we've had recently. This is fun.
Some might beg to differ. These cars were buried, others just plain stuck. On Division Street, Chambers were not one, but 2 vehicles, not even a block apart, battling with the roadways. Burnt rubber also in the air on Greenwood Avenue, where I literally tried throwing my weight around, but these tires needed a shovel in the end. He's not wasting his time with shovels. Are you like the most popular man on the block tonight?
Well, yes, I am. I gotta be, because I'm helping neighbors out. I try to anyway.
Bob Manganelli's been making the rounds on Anderson Street all day, all the while wheeling the snow to stop to no avail. Ah, the sound of shovels scraping. It was near constant outside Trenton Transit Center, but the crews weren't fast enough for Mother Nature. While it was hard to compete with the pace of the snowfall, many Trentonians kept on plugging, helping their neighbors along the way.
I just helped my friend shovel out. I got a car of my own now. I got to go back home. I can't shovel, got to shovel out my own car.
He was so bundled up. I was actually joking with him that I wasn't sure if he was really cold or about to rob a bank. His reply that he didn't have time to rob a bank. He had way too much shoveling to do. And as I take a look at all the piles of snow around me and the snow still falling from the sky, he is definitely not alone. We are live in Trenton. Catherine Scott, Channel 6 Action News. Back to you, Jim.
Thank you so much, Catherine. From Trenton to the Jersey Shore, Action News reporter Chad Berdelli is live in Atlantic City. Chad, as you made very clear at 6 o'clock, it has been an uncomfortable day there with snow alternating with cold rain.
Thankfully, Jim, no rain right now, just a light snow and these gusting, swirling winds you see behind me. We didn't get nearly the snow totals you did up north here in South Jersey, but don't let that fool you. This storm was fierce. The boardwalk looked like a winter wonderland with the lights and blowing snow tonight. Crews have been busy at work clearing streets and area sidewalks. Unlike last weekend's storm, the shore was spared the heavy snowfall.
We're holding up pretty good. This whole snow band that's coming through right now, it's going to get a little heavy, a little windy later on, so we're just keeping an eye on it, make sure everybody's safe.
Still, Atlantic City has been largely shut down. Scott Shimini has been cooped up in the casinos all day. He says almost all the restaurants are closed. He arrived from Boston a couple of days ago.
I think it's minuscule compared to what we're used to in Boston.
Offshore in Mays Landing, heavy winds created near whiteout conditions at times. Navigating the area by foot was only for the brave. All in all, people say this storm paled in comparison to last weekend's, at least here in South Jersey.
Not even close. Not close at all. I mean, we were non-stop for 30 hours, and this one here is, I would say, not even a quarter as bad.
The last time it was pretty bad, but just seeing what we can do to ride the storm out and stay inside.
And Jim, road conditions down here very nasty. We drove down the Atlantic City Expressway, saw several accidents, so if people are going to be out on the roads, they need to be very careful. I'm live in Atlantic City. Chad Perdelli, Channel 6 Action News. Jim?
Come on home, Chad. In Cherry Hill, a very dangerous situation on Kings Highway South. Viewer Ed Kosinski shot a downed wire that caught fire in the snow. Police and fire responded to the situation, kept everybody as far away as possible. There are few situations as treacherous as this. Fortunately, nobody was injured here tonight. A transformer weighted down by the snow and ice fell on top of a garage in the Germantown section of Philadelphia tonight, sparking a 3-alarm fire. It happened just after 8:30 in the 5500 block of Lena Street. It took firefighters nearly 2 hours to knock down the flames. One firefighter suffered minor injuries. Officials say this blaze serves as a reminder to residents when clearing sidewalks of snow. People should clear at least 3 feet around fire hydrants so firefighters can plug in. Our coverage of the blizzard and its aftermath continues in a few moments. Meanwhile, we want to let you know that the Action News morning team will be on a full hour earlier than usual, beginning at 4 a.m. to bring you the very latest information. And 6abc.com continues to draw huge numbers, once again setting a new record. 2.5 million page views today. You'll find updated Storm Tracker 6 images, video reports, slideshows, and much more at 6abc.com. Still to come on Action News tonight, how a dog born in Afghanistan now calls the United States home and the extraordinary love and dedication it took to get her here. Cecily?
Well, Jim, the last of the storm is finally moving out. We'll let you know if more snow moves in next week in the AccuWeather 7-day forecast.
We are joined tonight by Lisa Thomas.
Jim, tonight you will meet 4 women who say their 4 autistic children have made remarkable strides soon after they were enrolled in a unique program. Find out what is helping these children coming up.
And our blizzard coverage continues with live reports from Radnor and Wilmington, Delaware. And the Sixers and Flyers both play tonight. That and much more when Action News continues. Let's continue with our coverage of the storm today. We'll get the latest facts and figures from Cecily Tynan in just a moment. But first, let's check in with Action News reporter David Henry on Lancaster Avenue in Radnor. David, what's the main line look like tonight?
Well, Jim, it looks a lot better than it did about an hour ago. We can report that the snow has finally stopped out here in Radnor Township. It has been a long day, followed by a long night for folks trying to seek shelter from the storm. A lot of folks have lost their power tonight. They've been coming here to the Radnor Hotel, only to find there's no room at the inn.
Radnor Hotel was sold out, so we called our children who live in Penn Valley, and we decided that we were going to go over there.
Luckily, they've got a 4-wheel drive vehicle, anything less, and it's foolish to venture out on a night like this. There's no room because some guests and staff haven't been able to leave. But this is far from the Hotel California, more like Hotel Siberia. For these weary guys, it's a safe haven after braving the elements all day.
Tough day today, tough day.
What was it like out there?
It was horrible, pretty bad.
What kind of work were you doing?
Shoveling, plowing.
They're the grounds crew for Villanova University with its miles of sidewalks and acres of parking lots.
We haven't gone home in almost 3 days.
Oh my gosh, how are you holding up?
Mentally, I'm burnt. Physically, I'm all right.
You still up for the job?
Yeah, I don't have a choice. I have a mortgage.
While most had the luxury of taking a snow day, others were needed on the front lines of the battle. We found one guy stranded after they closed the Blue Route, but he doesn't seem to mind.
It's fun. Yeah, get a few extra hours at work, and I like the snow, so it's good.
Well, that's one man's opinion. We'll see how he feels after another long day tomorrow. For now, I'm live in Radnor. David Henry, Channel 6 Action News. Jim?
Thank you, David. Let's check out the situation in northern Delaware. Lauren Wilson live in Wilmington tonight. Lauren?
Jim, we've been here on Rodney Square for about 15 hours, believe it or not, and this is the calmest that it's been all day long. Now, tomorrow the cleanup begins. That pile of snow behind me has to be cleaned up just like the entire city. As for tonight, some people had to get out for emergencies while others decided to get out and have a little fun.
We got tired of being inside, so we decided to go for a walk and see what the city looked like, abandoned and covered in snow.
Yes, boredom led this couple to Rodney Square, where they couldn't help but notice no one was around, so they created this snowman.
We gave Rodney Square some personality with the snowman. We're not even sure if it's a boy or a girl yet.
We could make it a him and call him Rodney.
Rodney?
Right. That's Rodney, that's original. These University of Delaware students also must have been suffering from cabin fever because about 100 of them had a monster snowball fight during this monster storm. But serious problems were caused, like this roof collapse at the Townsend Fire Station, where trucks were moved out in time, but lots of equipment was lost. The most major damage tonight, though, was here at the F&N Shopping Center on Falk Road, where 11 stores may have to be condemned after a major roof collapse. Down poles also led to power outages. More than 56,000 people went without electricity statewide, most in Newcastle County, like this man.
There's a guy up the road who said it could be a long time. And looking at this year, I think it will be a while.
Now, a shelter has been opened up at William Penn High School on Basin Road in Newcastle. Anyone without power tonight is encouraged to go to the high school. Live in Wilmington, I'm Lauren Wilson, Channel 6 Action News.
Thank you, Lauren. Ours wasn't the only region that was socked with heavy snow today. Before hitting the East Coast, parts of the Midwest took a real hit and plows worked overtime to clear roads. Folks in Milwaukee digging out from about a foot of snow today. Washington, D.C. got between 8 and 14 inches of snow, and snow blowers were once again pulled out of the garage there, and the federal government was closed for a third straight day. New York City isn't being spared from the winter weather either. Not this time. New Yorkers braved the snow out and about in Central Park. They got about a foot or less. Some Drexel University students eager to make the best out of this nor'easter built a 20-foot snowman at 32nd and Powelton in University City tonight. The big guy was made complete with tree branch arms, big eyes, a carrot nose, and a very wide smile. A mom and her daughter decided that they would do their part to help fatten up the big guy. We've just gotten word from SEPTA that all SEPTA service on all of its divisions will resume at 5 a.m. in time for the rush hour. The L already back in operation.
Well, that's some good news.
It's very good news.
I tell you, it's amazing. We have now officially had more snow in Philadelphia this season than Buffalo, New York.
I thought you were going to say in 4 years combined.
Oh, well, that too.
But now you're talking about Buffalo?
Buffalo, New York, an area that prides itself on the most snow, 63.1 inches in Buffalo. We've received 70.3 and counting. So.
I'm not sure if that's a distinction or what.
I know, it's unbelievable. And I tell you, the snow is still falling.
Someone doesn't like Buffalo.
Storm Tracker 6 Live showing that we have this little renegade batch of snow behind the main system that continues to sit right over Philadelphia. And you can see that it's shrinking, but it's still snowing in Philadelphia, also Glassboro, Elmer, Hamilton. It's still snowing south of Trenton, and then we also have that line of snow along the shore that will continue to push to the east, but Seaside Heights, Belmar, Surf City, all still seeing that snow, but the system continues to pull out as we speak. Let's go live on Sky 6, taking a look at the scene. Penn's Landing covered in snow, and now the wind's really picking up out of the northwest as that storm system departs. 30 degrees officially at the airport, humidity 88%, so the humidity is dropping. Barometer 29.38 and rising. Winds sustained out of the northwest, 21 miles an hour, gusting to 30. So the wind chill right now makes it feel like 17 degrees. So it's going to get very cold overnight. What a week it's been. The last 5 days we've received in Philadelphia 42.5 inches of snow. That's more than 2 of the typical season's worth of snow in less than a week's time. And we got a good thumping north and west of I-95. Essentially, we were expecting the bullseye, the snowfall jackpot, we're calling it. Northeast Philadelphia, 17.4 inches as of 7 o'clock. Still counting, but Percy, 21, Collegeville, 20, Boyertown, 23.3, and South Coventry Township, this is the winner, 26.3 inches of snow. And again, these snowfall amounts may cheat up a little bit when we finally get the official totals as of tomorrow. Right now in the Poconos, it's 24, Allentown 31, Reading 30, Lancaster 28, Wilmington 28, and Atlantic City Airport 31. You factor in the winds, though, the wind chill makes it feel like 14 in Wilmington, feels like 10 in the Poconos, feels like 17 in Allentown. So folks without power, it's going to be very cold tonight, and it's going to be cold tomorrow. Satellite 6, along with action radar, showing the storm system is winding down. If you look right there, we showed you that at 6 o'clock. That was actually the eye of the storm. It was strong enough that we saw an eye developing like a hurricane, but now it continues to push away from us, and we will see that snow continuing to work to the east. So Future Tracker 6 showing around midnight, you can see just a little bit of that snow hanging around the shore, and then this is the cloud cover. Morning rush hour, I think we'll still see some clouds along the shore. Philadelphia seeing the return of sunshine. The afternoon, bright sunshine, but temperatures around the freezing mark, so we really don't expect much melting. Now, Monday's potential. We're tracking low pressure that'll be diving down from the plains, kind of a bowling ball